Well, hey, let's look at the bright side. We finally have some matches added to WrestleMania 34. Hey guys, what is up? It's me, it's Steve, back at it one more time with a new video. Thank you all for watching this video and tuning in back into the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Also while you're here, share this video throughout your entire social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter, or wherever you share and watch videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout most of these shows: Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, pay-per-views, 205 Live as well, but above all else with each and every single one of you awesome people out there. So, this video, like I said, will be my Raw review, recap for March the 5th, 2018. Raw took place from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I gotta be very honest, I thought tonight's episode of Raw somewhat was a solid show. He had its boring parts, if you will, but what I did like in some way, shape, or form, we're starting to see what's gonna happen at WrestleMania as far as matches being added. But I want it from you guys down below in the comment threads. Give me your thoughts on the show. If you enjoyed Raw, if you hated Raw, or if not, on Twitter at HeelSteven, and I'll give you a retweet, a like, and I'll respond. Before I go on with this Raw review, I want to remind everyone, I'll be doing a Q&A for the month of March on the 18th of March, the Sunday after Fastlane. So I did a video announcing it, so whenever you get a chance, click on the link down below in the description box. Submit me your questions there. 3 questions per person. It can be about whatever you want. Pro wrestling questions, combat sports, I don't care. Ask away, all right? So the show kicked off with Kurt Angle making his way to the ring, ready to call out Triple H, because Triple H last week on Monday Night Raw punched Kurt Angle during the whole Ronda Rousey contract signing. And remember, a couple months ago, the Raw after the Survivor Series, Kurt Angle said, hey, if you ever lay your hand on me again, I'm going to hurt you and whatever, right? And Kurt Angle's ready to fight Triple H. He's literally calling him out, takes off his sports coat, untucks his shirt, ready to fight him. And then out comes Stephanie McMahon. And she pretty much said that Triple H isn't here or he's running late, one or the other, okay? And she wants Kurt Angle to calm down, to think about what he's doing here pretty much. Hey, he wants to fight Triple H, which isn't right, okay? And how hotheads, went overboard last week, and how everyone needs to calm down and to remember that, hey, Kurt Angle has been married twice, he has 5 kids, and that the alimony money is really a lot of money. In other words, think about the last thing you really want is to not lose your job, right? It must be real though. When you think about Kurt Angle spending alimony money, we all know that Jeff Jarrett is spending that money with his baby tonight, okay? Let's be real about it. But out came Ronda Rousey, and Ronda's walking around the ringside area, high-fiving all the fans, all happy, hunky-dory, and it felt like forever, by the way. It felt like the longest thing ever. She gets in the ring, talks about how she finally sees what Triple H and Stephanie, who they really are. They're not what she thought they were when she was, signed with WWE, when they convinced her to come to WWE. And she pretty much said that in her contract, it does say that, hey, she can choose her WrestleMania opponent. And Stephanie's like all happy, all excited about it because, hey, fine, she's going to decide. And she reminded Ronda that, hey, it cannot be a champion. It has to be someone on the active roster. And she wanted everyone to do a drum roll. And I guess while she was talking, Ronda Mr. Q went to, make the announcement. She said, you, but you couldn't hear it on the microphone. And everyone went like, oh, what, you? Meaning Stephanie McMahon. And Stephanie was in this whole look of disbelief, like, what the hell just happened here? And then you hear the music of Triple H. Mind you all, I thought, just like everyone else, that, hey, Triple H wasn't even there, or he was running late, but he comes out of nowhere, and he wants to put a stop to all this, how the match can't happen. Stephanie is the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, but then Kurt Angle says, hey, listen, I'm the general manager, I approve matches here, and last time I checked, yes, Stephanie McMahon is the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, but also has another contract. A contract to be a WWE superstar. And so does Triple H. Apparently, he is the CEO of WWE, which we all been knowing for a while, but also has a WWE superstar contract. So he pretty much says at WrestleMania, it will not be Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey, but instead it will be Triple H and Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. So we finally have the match that we've been all kind of knowing it was going to happen for a while. It's not going to be The Rock. It will not be Braun Strowman. It's going to be Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. The Olympic Dream Team versus the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie. And you see them all brawling. Stephanie McMahon tries to attack Ronda Rousey after Kurt Angle and Triple H were going at it. Triple H got locked in the ankle lock. But again, we go back to this whole thing where Stephanie comes back into the ring and attacks Ronda from behind. So it seems. And instead, Ronda gets back up and she's all angry for what's going on. And she grabs Stephanie, puts her on her shoulders, and then drops her for the most botched Samoan drop ever. Now, granted, you know what? I'll give it a pass for now. Because I'm not going to judge her wrestling ability off one move. I'm not. Who's to say, hey, she got the jitters, her first time taking a bump? It happens. Okay, it is what it is. But we have that match already locked in for WrestleMania. We then had the rematch from Elimination Chamber between Asuka versus Nia Jax for no reason whatsoever. Honestly, I have no idea why they had the match. Again, I get it. It's the rematch, what have you. But still, there's no prize at the end of this. Even if Nia would have won this match, there's no prize, right? But this match just went on and went on. Nia got locked in the triangle choke, and it seemed like she tried to counter like 4 times, but Asuka still had that choke locked in, and then eventually she hits the armbar, right? She counters the whole thing to a fucking armbar, and Nia Jax is trying to fight this off, screaming in pain, but eventually taps out. So Asuka once again beats Nia Jax. Which, by the way, at the same time, when the match was all said and done with, Nia got a good positive reaction. People were applauding her for what happened. Backstage, you saw Alexa Bliss and Mickie James watching from a monitor. I have a question. Why is Mickie James still with Alexa Bliss? Why? I have no idea. Unless you're going to tell me at WrestleMania Alexa Bliss is going to, again, have a match with Nia and Mickie turns her back or turns again, whatever, on Alexa. It still doesn't make sense at all. I'm still confused. Why is she with her still after all this time? I don't know. It's not like Alexa Bliss has some dirt on Mickie James and is like having her hostage and shit. You know what I mean? But that was that match. We then had the Bar versus the Revival. And if the Revival would have gotten a win here, they would go on to face the Bar for the Raw Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. At first, I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that they're going to have a match at WrestleMania and I'm watching this right now for free on television. Which was stupid. When you think about it, it's a stupid decision. However, the match for what it was an okay match, okay? And I personally thought, I'll be honest, I thought that the Revival was going to win this match for some reason whatsoever. But I was wrong. The Bar picked up the win. And now, I'm wondering now, what's going to happen with the Raw Tag Team titles at WrestleMania? Are you going to tell me that, hey, we're going to probably see a multi-person match or multi-person tag team match for the title? Or we can see a ladder match again like WrestleMania last year or whatever? I mean, we kind of like, at this point, why not, right? You do the Club, you do the Bar, the Revival, maybe Titus Worldwide. I don't fucking know. Maybe the Hardy Boys, which I doubt, but you kind of get the idea. It's like, what do you do now? You know, you literally had the Bar beat everybody almost. Like, there's no more tag teams on Raw. This is why a part of me wishes that the Authors of Pain make their Raw debut like ASAP, maybe after the takeover in New Orleans, but we'll see where that goes as well. We then had John Cena come out to the ring to address what happened on SmackDown Live. He gets in the ring, talks about how the road for WrestleMania for him is now clear. He has to, beat 5 other guys in a 6-pack challenge at Fastlane to be WWE champion. Here's my thing. He's talking and he's talking. I'm like, bro, why are you even here? Why are you on Raw? Hyping up a SmackDown match for a SmackDown pay-per-view. And apparently he's like, oh, the reason why I'm here, because I know if I was on SmackDown Live tonight, I'll be interrupted by Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Baron Corbin, AJ Styles. And again, he's a free agent. He can go on both shows whenever he wants to. Even if that's still, it's so stupid. Like, the whole notion, think about this, right? Raw's a brand, SmackDown's a brand, right? Why would Raw come out to hype up a SmackDown pay-per-view? I get it, it's all WWE, and you want people to tune into the network, but still, just shit like that is so stupid to me. Even when Raw has a pay-per-view, and you have people, if you have SmackDown Live on SmackDown on Tuesday nights, I don't know why they did there, but fuck it, hyping up a Raw pay-per-view. It's so cringe, and this is why, in a way, it's just so stupid. Cena coming out to hype up, literally, the six-pack challenge, to hype up the pay-per-view, and then he's like, oh, you know what, though? I'm going to break history. I'm going to make history by breaking the 16-time record that was held for over 20 years. I'll be a 17-time world champion. And if AJ Styles, again, listen, I'm not taking away your money, because if anything, you can invoke your rematch for WrestleMania. It'll be John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania, which, really, to be honest here, okay, I would not mind seeing that match, which we all know is not going to happen, but still, I'll be all aboard for that. I'm all aboard. I'm all in, if you will, for that match. But we know it's not going to happen. Then Goldust comes out for whatever reason, talks about how, just for whatever reason, it felt so random, okay? It just felt so random, Goldust coming out, interrupting Cena, talking and talking. I'm supposed to believe, right, that Goldust, who's been around for over 20 plus years, is supposed to put a halt, if you will, to John Cena's road to WrestleMania. Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. And they had a match, because apparently Goldust attacked John Cena during his promo, and they had a match, which, by the way, Cena won. Really, to be honest here, okay, listen, if this was like, I don't know, 2000, 2002, I would not mind seeing this. But it's 2018. It's like Cena and Goldust are way, different in scale, if you will. And to see it again, it just felt like weird at the same time. But Cena went with the attitude adjustment. Again, you want him to go into Fastlane with momentum, and probably go into SmackDown tomorrow with momentum as well. So it made sense for him to win, and not Goldust. We had the announcement that Hillbilly Jim will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. I get it. It's a little weird. It's a little random. At this point in juncture, they're putting in anybody at this point. So it's fine. It is what it is, okay? I have no problem with it at all, okay? There's some that do. It's your opinion, if you will. It's however you feel about it. We had Bayley versus Mandy Rose. Pretty much this match, I'll be honest, I feel like Mandy Rose is improving every single week. She's beautiful and she's improving. We had Absolution at ringside. Bayley ended up winning with a roll-up pin, then leading up to an attack by Absolution. And it's funny because before the match even took place, we're supposed to hear why Bayley all of a sudden is, feeling some type of way about Sasha Banks. As you all know, at the Rumble, Sasha eliminated Bayley. At Chamber, Sasha eliminated Bayley. How last week on Raw, during that tag team match, whatever the fuck it was, that 6-person tag, or 6-women tag, if you will, Sasha was going to go for the tag, but Bayley just jumped off the apron. She literally pulled a Sid Justice from 1992 Saturday Night's Main Event against Hulk Hogan. Pretty much. That's what she pulled. And pretty much, before the match even took place, she was in the ring with Charlie Caruso to explain what was going to happen, and she got interrupted. Literally interrupted for the match to begin. And out comes Sasha Banks during the ambush attack to clear the ring, take out Absolution, and it seemed like, okay, Bayley and Sasha were going to make up or something like that, because Sasha went for the hug, and Bayley rejected the hug and walked away in frustration and pain from the ambush attack. If this does not scream WrestleMania match, then I don't know what the fuck does. And you know what? Fine. I don't mind seeing this at WrestleMania. I'll be honest, at the same time, me being me, I would rather see Bayley versus Sasha at SummerSlam at Barclays Center. 3 years later, if you will, from their first match at the Barclays Center at TakeOver Brooklyn, which I was at as well, which again was probably the match of the year for NXT in 2015. But hey, you get what you get, right? We had the first ever Symphony of Destruction match between Braun Strowman and Elias. Literally, this was more of a gig or a segment than anything at all. You had Elias play multiple instruments, the piano, the drums, the guitar. Um, the lights. He went back into the ring. The lights went off. It went back on. He was gone, and you see Elias escaping, trying to rush outside. Because apparently, Kurt Angle before the match announced that the match will also be a Falls Count Anywhere match as well, because he didn't want Elias escaping like last time and shit. And you see Elias trying to get into his car, start the engine, but he couldn't move it. Like, literally, he was stuck there. And it turns out that Braun Strowman was literally lifting the car up from behind. And they started attacking each other. Literally, Braun had it his way. Don't get me wrong, Elias had some moments, if you will. You can tell that whole segment outside in the car, whatever, was pre-taped. Okay, you can just tell it was. But the match, for what it was your typical Braun squash match, where eventually, yes, Elias had some moments, but was all said and done, Braun picked up the win after beating up Elias with all these instruments at on top of the entrance area, with the piano, the huge bass that he whacked Elias in his back again like last time. Again, just a whatever thing. But again, at the end of the day, Braun Strowman picked up the win. We had Bray Wyatt versus Rhino, where Bray Wyatt ended up winning after hitting Sister Abigail. After the match, he called out Matt Hardy, and Matt Hardy popped up on the screen. And he invited Wyatt to face him, at the Ultimate Deletion at the Hardy compound next week. So next week, hey, we're getting the return of Vanguard 1, Senior Benjamin, the Hardy compound, Skarsgård, the dilapidated boat. I'm all for it. I'm all for that. Even at the same time, I did say, hey, you know what? I'm tired of this feud, which I kind of am, but I would save this for WrestleMania, to be honest here. I would save that for WrestleMania. But at the same time, you can't have the compound and New Orleans in two different places. You can't. You know what I mean? So why the fuck not? You do this match next week. Let's see how this goes. I guarantee you they're going to probably tape some of this stuff tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday and air it on Monday. Again, we'll see where that goes. But it's going to be cool, again, to see Senior Benjamin, Vanguard 1, the Lake of Reincarnation, Skarsgård, Dilapidated Boat, squads. But you kind of get the idea, okay? The licensed official and all that shit. But again, we'll see where that goes. We have the Mizzy Awards, because a parody of the Oscars last night. And what do you know? All this led to both Rollins and Balor coming out and setting up a 3-on-2 handicap match. 3-on-2 handicap match between the Miztourage with The Miz versus Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. But by the way, Seth Rollins came out in his whole Bam Bam Bigelow flaming tights. And Finn came out to the blue attire, the blue little trunks. He's literally Blue Balor, if you will. The match, again, for what it was a whatever match. It was one of those things where both Rollins and Balor were trying to one-up each other with these blind tags. And it looked like at the end of the whole thing that Finn was going to get the win for his team, but Seth ended up doing the blind tag as well. Hit the curb stomp on The Miz and literally pinned The Miz. And after all this, Kurt Angle comes out and says, hey, listen, I have my match set up for WrestleMania, but now you will as well. At WrestleMania, you will not face Seth Rollins one-on-one, but instead, you will face both Seth Rollins and Finn Balor in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Listen, I have no problem with the match. I think, honestly, it'd be one of the best matches on the show at WrestleMania, but at the same time, it's a multi-person match. I know people are upset with that. Honestly, listen, I think, really to be honest here, it's a better choice than having it just be defended in a multi-person with 8 other people in a ladder match. So I have no problem with it being a triple threat. Most likely, I will not be surprised if The Miz actually retained, but we'll see where that goes as well. And then we had the whole Paul Heyman rebuttal, the response, if you will, toward the big dog, Roman Reigns. And I gotta say this, I gotta give Paul Heyman credit where credit's due. If I was wearing a hat, I'll take my hat off right now. Paul Heyman literally went out of his way to make this match work, try to get people invested in this match. Talked about how, you know, the Universal title is Brock Lesnar's bitch. Literally. And if Roman wants that bitch, that hey, he needs to take it away from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. How literally, he wants Roman to just think about his family, his bloodline. But at the end of the day, the bloodline starts with the Universal title, bringing the importance, in essence, to the Universal Championship, how it needs to be in the ring. But then again, someone should tell it to Brock Lesnar, who hasn't defended it in, I guess you want to count that house show in Chicago over the weekend as something, but still, just bringing importance to the match at WrestleMania. And he even said, hey, listen, maybe at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar will be with both the Universal title and the UFC heavyweight title, hinting that, hey, Brock is leaving to UFC somewhere down the road, maybe after WrestleMania. And then out came Roman Reigns after hearing what Heyman had to say. He comes out and he pretty much says, hey, Brock is really a bitch. I expect him to come here after I pretty much went off on him, but he sends you to rebuttal. And he pretty much told Paul Heyman that, hey, listen, next week I want Lesnar in the ring. I don't want to come out in his promo attire. I want to come out ready for a fight. Even though Paul Heyman said that next week, Brock Lesnar will be on Raw to confront Roman Reigns, to face off, what have you. Hopefully now we get it this time. We get it, but we'll see. Now, I'll be honest here, okay? Because throughout this whole thing as well, Paul Heyman kept dropping the belt on the ring, whatever, laying the belt on the floor, right? I would have had Roman Reigns, honestly, it is just me, of course, okay? Lay out Paul Heyman and keep the belt as hostage. Take the belt with him, as in, like, hey, if Brock wants his belt, have him come here next week on Raw to take it away from him. Shit like that would have done. But nonetheless, again, I give credit where credit's due, because at the end of the day, listen, you had Paul Heyman here. Again, I hate being repetitive with this shit, going out of his way to put, again, importance to the match, making people, again, I know people right now are not still thrilled with the idea that it's Roman and Brock. But at the end of the day, you got to give Paul Heyman credit for trying to get people invested. Overall, I thought Raw was somewhat of a solid show with boring parts. But like I said, we're getting now a build to WrestleMania. We'll see if Ronda Rousey appears next week on Raw. I'll be honest about it too. I'll give Ronda credit where credit's due as well for taking this full-time gig seriously. Apparently, she'll be appearing on Raw every week until WrestleMania. At the same time, I would have her skip a couple Raws to still have her importance on the show still be intact. That's just me, of course. But like I said, we got matches added to WrestleMania. At the same time, I didn't mention this also, but backstage there's this whole thing with Nia and Alexa, where Alexa was again trying to console Nia with talking about these shady things about her being big and how she's different. And you see Nia just crying her eyes out. And people were concerned that, hey, we're going to get Asuka and Alexa. And I think, no, we're going to get Alexa versus Nia WrestleMania. The way that's going. But, again, the main thing here as well, if there's anything that you should go out of your way to watch from Raw this Monday, was the Ronda Rousey bump on Stephanie McMahon, and I guess the ending of the show, if anything. But that's for me, of course. Guys, give me your thoughts down below in the comment threads. If your take on the show, if you enjoyed it or not, follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven, where I tweet throughout Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, pay-per-view, but above all, each and every single one of you mother flowers. And as always, hate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, it's me, it's Steve, and I'm out. It's wrestling and whatever. Yeah.